When I had my youngest wee boy Matthew, I was actually registered with the project. When my breastfeeding was finished, I decided that I wanted to give something back to help other mums have the same experience that I had, because I had a lovely breastfeeding experience. So I just looked on their website and contacted them and asked them when their next training sessions were. Best thing about being a volunteer is you pick and choose the times that you want to go in and help the women, and you choose in what area you want to help the women out. And it's really nice being able to go in and sit with mums and talk with them about their breastfeeding. And because you're already a mum who's breastfed, passing on your knowledge and knowing that you've maybe helped a mum.
For me, it was really important to have someone to talk to explain what was happening, how to breastfeed properly, what to look out for, things that could go wrong and how to avoid them. Particularly in the hospital this time, but the breastfeeding support workers were there, and they could come perhaps when no one else was available and sit with you and actually give you the time to go through how to breastfeed and then what to expect, especially in the first few days. Although I breastfeed my first girl, he was completely different. I think it's good to be able to talk to people about breastfeeding, because I think a lot of people don't think they can. So the fact that we've got community mums there who are quite a visible presence in the hospital now and in the communities, that people can know that it's okay to talk about it. And I think it's really important, being a breastfeeding mum, to talk to other mums, and you've got someone that can phone you up and just kind of ask you how you're doing, and just be able to talk about something that maybe you wouldn't want to say to anyone else about, because I think there's a lot of pressure in mums to know exactly what to do, and you don't want to admit that you don't know, or you're feeling a bit scared or a bit doubtful. So it's really good to have someone on the other end of the phone that can kind of follow up, and you know that you're being looked after. I think it's a really good level of care, I think, that I didn't have with my first daughter.
In the South Lanarkshire area, local volunteers have got a few different things that they can do, and what we find is they go through an 8-week training programme initially, and that is run by coordinators of the Community Mothers programme. Then they go through an early mentoring stage that they go into the areas that they're going to be working with women and volunteering. So the roles that the volunteer can actually do is they can come into hospital to support women in hospital in the early days after women have just had their baby. They can telephone women at home, or they can visit women at home. Through the volunteers actually developing, they now do quite a lot of different things, and some go and co-facilitate at breastfeeding support groups in the community. Volunteers were giving women the information about breastfeeding support groups as well, and women were then going along to them. So it was nice, and it was almost like buddying and taking them along to this local group, so that you weren't turning up at the group not knowing anybody. The programme was to support women up to 6 weeks, because we know that women, if you continue to breastfeed to 6 weeks, the likelihood is that you would then continue to breastfeed to 6 months, which is the World Health Organisation recommendations.
As part of our training, what have you, there was a lot of information that you just didn't know about and what have you, so from that aspect it was fantastic. But also, as a volunteer, I'm now co-vice chair on the Lanarkshire Breastfeeding Initiative. I'm doing baby massage and what have you, so it's developed me in a way that I really never imagined that it would do, you know. It's brilliant.
The training that we're given as community mums is very in-depth, and it's very varied. It covers everything basically. So really your skill base is quite wide. I feel it really does give us, along with our own experiences, the skills to really go out and to help the mums.
Knowing that even if you can just help a mum to keep feeding for another day, or even just one more feed or whatever, you know, it's just fantastic. It's so rewarding. It's, you know, just knowing that you're there and you're helping the mums. It's just brilliant. You know,
as a health professional, you can speak to women about breastfeeding and support them and promote it, but there's nothing more visible than a mum who has breastfed herself successfully, has enjoyed her breastfeeding, might have had some of her own challenges, and then she can then speak to a new mum about her experience. But with her speaking about her own experience, she's also had research-based training, so she can then give that knowledge and skills and hopefully encourage the mum to have more confidence with her feeding. And in the community, it then means we would have more women breastfeeding. I really enjoy, you know, the contact with the mums and the babies and what have you, and, you know, going to the support groups and seeing the babies develop each week. It's just really rewarding.
Being a volunteer, I realised that I really wanted to work with breastfeeding mums on a more full-time basis, and I've actually just recently started working at the hospital as a breastfeeding support worker, and I feel if I hadn't been a community mum, I wouldn't have realised that I had that passion and enthusiasm for helping new mums out. So it's changed my career aspects, and it's working out well.
If you're interested in becoming a Community Mother volunteer, please call Community Mother South on 01698 714 958, or if you would like more details about the project, please contact the team on 01698 377 655. You can also find out more information by logging on to lanarkshirebreastfeeding.org.uk.